Okay. I think I should be good to go. Seems like everybody is loading in. Okay, so welcome back to round 2 of Appf1 Elite. Last time around, let me just bring up the standings. I believe Lifeboat won and Ghost. No, wait, that was. Sorry, I'll just look at the standings. Right! What? I'm sorry, am I retarded? No, I'm not. Okay. Let me get everything ready. So it's P Manila, 1, right behind him Ghost, and after that Lifeboat, right? I don't have any sound, but I think I should be good because there's just nobody on track. Okay, so Monza. One of the fastest tracks, or the fastest track on the calendar, probably 0-0 wings. It's not too tricky of a track, although the easier track is, the more time. There's not a lot of time to gain, really, except on corner exits, so all the more important they are to take right. There we go, now I got sound. And, yeah, I guess Slipstream is decently effective, so let's see if some teammates do that here. Yeah. Oh, wait, let me make a... Okay. There we go. Okay, we're on an onboard lap. Watching... Can't see who right now. Aces. Okay, Aces is the first person out. Let's look at his first lap. So, 5th gear into the first or last corner, I guess, onto the main straight. Let's see what kind of speeds is he gonna do. 350. Pretty much braking zone. 100-meter board, I believe. You can eat that right curb, but not too much, otherwise it'll unsettle the car. And then important exit here because it's a long way down till the next braking point. Next chicane is very difficult again to nail. You can cut the chicane quite aggressively if you get it just right, but again, if you get it wrong, it can unsettle the car and you'll lose a lot of time. Not quite hugging the inside there. These 2 right turns, I bet they have names, I don't know what they are though. Then opening DRS again, long straight until next braking point. Important to get a good exit, and this is probably the most difficult chicane up from the 3. There are, it's the fastest one, and it's very easy to lose your car, especially when you don't have the amount of grip that you have in qualifying in the main race. Let's see, what is it going to be? First lap of the night. Is it going to be a 120.747? Let's look at there they are. Playing, okay. So, Playing and Robinette both being behind Aces. Let's see, where's McLaren? Invalidated his lap. Okay, let's go up. As we see the Haas of BDR invalidating his lap. No, he's not. He's lost enough time to not get it invalidated. What is it going to be? A 120.68. Very close still at the top. Let's look at Lifeboat's lap time. As he invalidates it on the corner, the final corner, that's very unnecessary. Not a lot of time to gain there, and potentially he invalidated before that, but if he did so, a very dumb mistake by Lifeboat. The Quality Merchant, as some people call him that. Let's look at, okay, Jackalacko spun on the final corner. Let's see. And, yeah. So, into the 120s for the first round of qualifying. People have time to set 3 laps. Let's see what they'll be. By the name spelled wrong. He's gonna be on pole for now. 120.5. So I'm sure we're gonna be able to get into the low 120s, if not 119. But let's see. As there was an Aston Martin off the track there. I'm not sure if he's getting out of the way or if he just overshot that corner. As we see everybody going to the pits. Yeah. That's basically it. Everybody's gonna go out and then come in and go out and come in. A lot of different strategies to wait for Monza, as we have yellow flags in the outlap of playing, or for the outlap of playing. And he's using a lot of... No, the other one was on the outlap, my bad. Seems like playing is driving very slowly. Maybe he's ran out of fuel. No, he's not. Interesting. As he hasn't validated the lap yet, but I'm guessing he's doing it in a lap. Let's look at... let's look at his teammate there. He's heading up for a lap. Get down the power early as early as possible. Damn, I probably should know the names, but I wasn't expecting to commentate, so don't be mad. Let's see, where is he going to break? 100, that's pretty much good enough. Good exit for the first chicane. He will have traffic in front of him. I hope they will get out of the way. I'm not sure if cutting the chicane there, or cutting onto the curb, really gains time at all. Aggressive take of the chicane, but it does unsettle the car, at least the rear of the car, as we can see, losing grip on the exit and time as well. Hopefully that AppF1 is getting out of the way fast enough, not costing too much time, and he is. Dive to the right. I'm not sure if that cost him too much time though. Let's see, where's the braking point? A little before the 50 meter, I believe. For Scary, I believe that is. Look that up once we're done with qualifying. Let's see, what is it going to be for Rills? It's just over the line. And it's a 120.8, which will put him into the P6. I don't know why I said the. We'll put him into the top 10. Let's see. Fastest first sector for rubbing that. The Ferrari home Grand Prix, I guess, for this team. Let's see. Last time it was the home Grand Prix of the Spaniard, and he won here. Let's see if either of the Ferraris can do something here. As Reshka invalidated his lap, but not on the exit, therefore he can go and set his actual lap time. Let's look at his team go. Final corner. You can always get on the power earlier than you think, in my opinion, in that corner. Was it going to be a new fastest lap? Barely. barely edging out Spellground. 120.5, so a very decent lap for Robin Homogene. I'll show you how to pronounce that as we look at other laps. Oh, there's Jackalacko again on the grass, or that's the racing line. Let's see, as Lifeboat retires from the session before the entry of the final corner. What was that? Let's look where he retired. That's impressive to say the least. He'll be starting from last. That's definitely made his life more difficult. Maybe he wants a challenge. Like last time, I believe, he also didn't qualify. So, the previous... I guess he wasn't champion. I believe Ghost was, so... whatever that is. Not able to qualify 2 times in a row. Interesting. As we look at BDR Kelvin just start up his lap. What will that mean for the championship? I don't see Ghost today. That's interesting as well. So that's double annoying for Lifeboat, because that means less competition for him in the race, but he just made his life much, much harder. Anyway, let's go down to Rails. Let's see. And the Aston Martin just finishing up his lap as he's diving into the pits. So boarding that lap. Let's look at Jackalacko. No, it's Aces. Also diving into the pits. Seems like the second round of people going out is over. Pretty much. And for now, it's Reshka in P1. So both Ferraris into the top 3. That seems very good for the Ferrari team. As we see oh no, there he is. He's P5 and he's validated his lap as well, so he'll be heading into the pits. So Pirel Multipair is now on a lap, starting his last run, potentially. We see the 2 Haas's in front of him, cautious into the braking zone of turn 1 and 2. As we see him hug the inside. Not really though. You can take the whole inside line there. As we see him avoid the curbs completely into the second chicane. Interesting line. I believe that's turn 5 and 6, so this would be 7 and 8. Well, 7, and now comes 8. As we see him really pretty much stay away from curbs. So, interesting racing line here. That's going to cost him a lot of time though, because that's going to narrow the track for sure. Let's see, is he going to stay away from curbs? He pretty much is. That's a very interesting racing line, I guess, for Pirel. Let's see what his time is going to be. Maybe that's what you have to do here. I don't believe so, but potentially, as he goes very wide into the final corner, what is it going to be? It's going to be a 121. It's going to put him into P13. So, not great, but not bad. As we see the McLaren going very slowly. Let's look at the Haas. Both Haas in the pits. Okay. We'll have enough time to go in, and then if he gets on with it, maybe. It'll be very close for PL multi-pairs to get out again. But let's see. Is anyone out on track? Yes. Sharpie? Both of the Alpha Tauris. Let's see. Can anyone get into the 119s? Can Sharpie get into the 119s? Let's see, what is he going to do? 150? Probably going to be very similar setup for everybody. It's going to be 0-0 because that's just what you need in straight line speed at Monza. As you see, a little shaky exit there for Sharpie on his last run. And a very wide turn 3. Seen it multiple times now. I don't believe that's gaining them time, but who knows, as Sharpie spins it around, but he has enough time and he's not used too much of his tires as he strands his car on that curb. That's very unlucky. He just rotated it the wrong way. That's gonna... Oh, and he got loose. Wow. He got off of that curb, but he's facing the wrong way, and... Okay, buddy. Oh, and he got disqualified from session. You had to watch out there. You can't go the wrong way for too long. But, what an interest... Oh, and now his AI is in the middle of the Aston Martin's lap. I hope that didn't ruin his lap. Very unfortunate events here for the Alpha Tauri driver and the Aston Martin driver. Let's see, he's up by half a second though. This could be definitely up for top 3. So I guess he didn't get held up too badly, and he gets a slipstream from someone in front of him. Let's see, what is it going to be from Brills? This could go into the 120.2s. It's going to be a 120.1. It's going to be pole position for Rills. Or, well, whatever. Not quite yet, but let's see if Resker can improve on his lap. It's going to be, what? 0.6 improvement. No, it's not. Never mind. He's just starting his lap now. Oh, as there's a big pile up here into turn 1, the Aston Martin going quite slow through that chicane, taking that runoff exit as that sim guy sets in the fastest lap, but we're on the onboard of Reshka as he puts in the fastest first sector of the night. Let's see if he can keep up with this pace and claw back. Pole position, almost invalidating his lap right there, going very wide. That's not a lot of grip he has there. Very understeery through 7 and 8, and now diving to the right for some reason. Oof. That's a very close with the track limits. He's pushing the car to the absolute, or at least pushing track limits to the absolute limit. Let's see. Is it going to be pole position for Reshka? Just don't get invalidated now. It's going to be a 1, not quite. It's going to be, he's not going to improve on his lap. Interesting. Can anybody improve on their lap? Aces is up by the skin of his teeth. Let's see if he can get a worldie of a last sector here and find pace, maybe in the last corner. Hug the inside, try and... No, that's not hugging the inside. Try and find time somewhere as he dives into the pits. Doesn't seem to want to finish that lap. As we see the house up by half a tenth. Not quite either. Spelled wrong now. Up by 0.008 of a second. It's not a lot. See if he can... That's going to invalidate his lap. I don't know what he did there. That's not going to be an improvement. So it is going to be that sim guy on pole position for now, as I don't believe anybody can challenge him anymore. No. And that is qualifying over. Wow. Okay, so that's some guy taking pole. Rills second. Reshka. Both Ferraris into the top 5. Aces in P4. Where is P Manila? Not even into the top 10. So that's disappointing qualifying for him. And Lifeboat not last. 4 cars not being able to set a single lap time. Oh no, Sharpie got disqualified, my bad. 3 cars not setting a lap time, and Sharpie, that unlucky DSQ for driving the wrong way. Okay, there we have it. As we see, the qualifying results, that's some guy on pole position by almost a tenth, and behind him, very close for second to 5th place, Rills, Reshka, Aces, Robinette, Wumax, and half a second now, BRD Kelvin spelled wrong, Bergen and SCRF Tronk, and yeah, those were the top 10 finishers of qualifying. Please don't tell me my game crashed. No, it didn't. Okay, it did that last time around. Hope that didn't unsettle the lobby. Let's just hope it didn't. As we should be in spectator moment, in spectator role, unlike last time, so we will get to see the start. Okay. Oh, and it's raining. Well, that's a surprise right there. Maybe that's why some weren't running full 0-0 wings. Although it could be drying up in the race. Let's see. Let's see. Sent off a DM. Let's see if we get a response. So it is definitely wet for the start of the race. Potentially it'll dry up mid-race. That'll be some interesting strategies going on as we see the formation lap go. Track map full. Oh, there we go. Should be good. We can see the grid order again. Everybody on those intermediate tires. So it's light rain throughout. Yeah. Okay, so Ghost Rider has joined. I believe that's too late now, unless he got kicked by something. Doesn't seem like it though. Oh wait, was that the... No, okay, never mind. as we see. Goes right to leaving the session. Okay, so he just came in a little too late. As we see everybody warming up their tires. You don't want to start on cold tires. Monza in the rain. It's a little more tricky, a little harder to overtake, and it's already not easy to overtake in Monza. But taking that DRS away leads to an even more trickier overtaking opportunity. This will be very interesting. Turn 1 with 19 drivers. Let's see if it'll run as smoothly as it did last time. Let's hope it doesn't run as chaotic as it did last time around. And maybe let's hope for no crashes as we see Calvin losing it there while warming up his tires, trying to settle into his grid position. That's a little slow there. There we go. Getting in there finally. As we see the final, as we see Sharpie lining up to the grid. And now it's going to start. Let's see the 5 red lights. There we go. Well, I guess we'll 5 red lights. And away we go. A good start from Rills, side by side and ahead already of that sim guy. Let's see if we can see. We can't see a lot. There we go. No big crashes yet. Let's go down the field. Seems like it's a very clean turn 1, a very careful turn 1 and 2 for everybody so far. Let's see Jacko Lacko trying to make up some positions. As we see people getting squeezed, there's not a lot of track there for 3 wide. And we see an Alfa Romeo making up some positions, although that was a little off track. Now Jacko losing time and making up that position on the Alpha again. Very close, 3 wide again. So we see Jacko Lacko now ahead of the Williams, although on the outside line that's the worst line. So we see the Williams fighting back. And Jacko Lacko having to concede that one, so losing that position again. Very good start from Miguel. Up 4 positions as we see ahead. People scrapping down for 4th, 5th position as we see Lifeboat in 6th position already, up 10 places. How did I miss that? What a crazy start from him. As we see the McLaren right in front of him losing it, and Lifeboat being very squirmy off that exit, gaining 1 position through that McLaren but losing 3. That's not a trade you want to make. Not quite. Losing 2 because the Ferrari for some reason is braking in the straight. Lifeboat now back into P6 already on Speldwrong's rear. He's very close to Speldwrong already. That's definitely going to be a send into turn 1. As Speldwrong isn't even putting up a fight. He's just letting Lifeboat breathe past. And that's 11 positions in 1 lap. Up into P5. That's a start I used to get back in 2021. Let's see that sim guy now. On the rear of Rills. Let's see. Anybody right up on someone on the field. Spreading out a little bit. Everything's settling in. Let's see the leaders. I mean, that's bad news for everybody in front if Lifeboat is already up to P5. Let's see. As we see people fighting, and there is a yellow flag. For what reason? No apparent reason. So, biggest winner, of course, is Lifeboat for the opening laps at the moment, but Miguel making up 5 positions as well as Sharpie making up positions from that DSQ in qualifying. That's very unlucky. He'll be trying to make up some more positions. As Jacko Lacko is right in front of him, that's going to be very close. Is he going to send it into the final corner? Yes, he is. Jacko Lacko not carrying on, closing that door, shutting it closed, saying no thank you. As he's pushing with DRS to stay in front. Let's see the McLaren and Haas and Ferrari are fighting for P6. as we see the Alfa Romeo of PL Morty Perez spinning around, same as the other Alfa Romeo, I believe, having a little spin out of chicane 1. As we see an overtake, but not quite, as I missed it, the overtake from that sim guy, back up to P1, overtaking Rills. As the lifeboat is 2/10 within Reshka. Making up another position. Well, I wasn't looking. Let's see, 4/10. That's not a lot. And there's a full course yellow. Is there a full course? Yes, there is. For something. Is that a safety car? Yes, it is. Nobody heading into the pits. Yeah, I don't think these tires are old enough for anybody to dive into the pits. Maybe the people in last place, but that's even worse news for that sim guy. Well, not that sim guy, I guess, because he's the teammate of Lifeboat, but Rails and Reshka, at least Rails, it's going to put them closer to Lifeboat. It is going to be good news, though, for Lifeboat, as he's going to be right on... Oh, no, that's not full course safety car. What am I saying? As Reshka dives down the inside of the Aston Martin. Slow on exit, but the Aston Martin can't benefit from that. Now that shows Lifeboat being able to make an overtake, not quite hanging around at the outside. He's going to have to sit back for that one. Whilst that some guy is 3 seconds pulling away ever so much as these guys are fighting. Let's see, Lifeboat, full battery, as has Rills. That could be a corner cutting warning there for Lifeboat. See him cut the track a little bit. So we see an overtake and a spin there from the Aston Martin, but he's able to keep it on track. Very neat. That's going to allow Miguel maybe to get 2 positions in one straight. That's one, and that's 1 position for sure. So we look back at Lifeboat and the fight for P2. Everybody just sitting back a little bit. Reshka weaving on the straight, trying to break that slipstream. So we see Lifeboat locking up a little bit there. So we see these 3 back to back to back. Nobody's sending it though, so keeping it clean for now. Let's go back up into P3. 2/10 between the Ferrari and the Aston Martin still. These guys are fighting as the Aston Martin gets a much better exit than the Ferrari out of that second chicane. Lifeboat just sitting back, watching this fight a little bit, whilst losing time though to that sim guy, so this is really benefiting him. Lifeboat, not too big of a gap to the guys behind though, so everybody from P2 quite close to one another, down to P10 basically, as we see a move from Rills on Reshka. But Reshka is going to have slipstream all the way down to turn 1, as that sim guy puts in a new fastest lap. A lot of ERS used by these both of these drivers. And that's Rills into P2 for sure. A very aggressive take of first chicane. That's going to allow Lifeboat maybe to catch up. Not quite, he's just saving his ERS. Maybe waiting a couple of laps. Who knows? But Miguel has made up both of those positions. Up 7 places from the start. It's a very good start for Miguel as well for the race. It's not a great start for Bergen. Making up a position on LB as we're on him. see. These guys are fighting for P5 or P6. Let's see. Lifeboat 2/10 within the Ferrari, 1/10, almost hitting the Ferrari into the last turn. They're getting the better exit out of the two. About equal, but he does have a lower downforce setup, it seems like. Both of them pushing their ERS. He's not going to go defensive though, Ferrari is. He's going to leave enough space for the Red Bull. Lifeboat going to get a good exit for a switchback. Ferrari being able to stay ahead for now, as we see a Alfa Romeo spinning down at Lismo, and we see Lifeboat overtaking the Ferrari of Reshka up into P3. The podium positions up 13 position in 7 laps. What a start for him. Oh, Reshka probably isn't going to be able to fight Lifeboat for now. Just doesn't seem to have the pace, but it's going to be as well close for spelled wrong. Side by side into Ascari. Ferrari cutting the chicane a little bit to stay ahead, and yet still the McLaren of spelled wrong gets a better exit. Is this going to be down 2 positions in 1 lap for Reshka? Let's see. Who's going to get the better exit? Spelled wrong's right on the rear of the Ferrari going this time defensive. Is he able to hold with the McLaren? Not quite. So Reshka with that higher downforce setup really struggling even in the wet. But the McLaren goes wide and gets a little tap from the Ferrari. It's not going to help him as the Ferrari loses 1, 2, maybe 3 positions. Can Aces use this to have a little look down around the outside? Yes, you will, but that inside line is definitely the superior one into the second chicane, but he brakes way too early. The McLaren does a spelled wrong, and that's Aces vs Kings up into P6 as Lifeboat is already ahead of Rills. Not going to be chasing down his teammate. 4.9 seconds, 4.8 seconds. That's going to be an interesting gap to watch as we see the Alfa Romeo spin one more time, getting lapped already by the 2 Red Bulls now. I mean, Ascari is a very tricky chicane, and the dry, yeah, and the wet, it gets only worse. Let's see, spelled wrong. Still within the pack, so he's not finished yet. But he definitely has lost some time and some positions as Piero Multiperez gets a 5-second penalty. That's not going to bother him too much though. Is he going to retire? Yes, he is. That's unfortunate. Not his race. A little bit unlucky probably. And that's him out of the race. Let's look at the field. These guys all very close to one another. Two tenths between these two. Let's see, is that going to be a little look down the inside? Playing has scared Sharpie. Sharpie going straight and getting a 3-second penalty, but giving up that position, so trying to potentially getting that penalty removed, but that's going to allow Jacko Lacko to come up behind him. Once again, going wide for Sharpie, potentially breaking track limits there. Jacko just having a little look down the inside into Ascari. As we see the Aston Martin of Plang going very slow through Ascari. It's going to allow Sharpie to go side by side with them down to the back straight. not going to be quite alongside the Aston Martin. Not only that, but he's going to lose a position to Jacko Lacko, and Jacko Lacko is going to be on the slipstream of playing. So is that going to be two positions in like the scope of 800 meters or one straight? As Sharpie retired or pits. Jacko Lacko braking a little earlier than playing, but both making the corner. Jacko Lacko getting the initial better exit, but that little the second phase of the exit playing definitely got better traction. Let's look it back up into P4, 5, 6. These guys all within 9/10 of a second, but without DRS. I mean, with DRS, if everybody gets DRS, that's again nullified. But nobody really making any moves up here at the moment. Well, Races is quite close to the Ferrari. Let's see. Let's stay with him for a little while. 3/10 and catching 2/10. This could be an interesting turn one. As we see a singular yellow flag for Sharpie, but it's all good for now. Where is Aces? Oh, rubbing it. He is pitting. Is that for further intermediates? No, that is for medium tires. He believes that it's dry enough to pit. It doesn't seem like it. Maybe it is. And it's hards for P Manila already. This seems very wet still. I mean, if we see their times improving, I assume they're gonna box soon. But it still seems very wet on track. Let's see what their times will be. That's what Life and Sim and Rose and Reshka are gonna look at. First guy who pops in the new fastest lap on those soft tires, that will mean that everybody's gonna dive into the pits. Although now, as I say that, it is looking very dry. Second penalty for corner cutting. That's a big one. Let's see, is that Sim guy heading into the pits? Yes, he is. Is Lifeboat gonna stick it out on those inters? No, he's not. He's heading in, and that's gonna be 5 seconds for Lifeboat, overshooting that corner with huge amounts of, I guess, KPH. Not only that, but that's not even gonna save him any time because he has to wait now for that Sim guy and his pit crew. So is that going to lose a position to is Lifeboat going to lose a position? No, not quite. But he's going to get that 5-second penalty, which is going to be very annoying, especially when a safety car comes out. That's not too rare for Monza. Everybody quite slow. Those hard tires are very cold and don't have a lot of grip. Probably more grip though than the intermediate tires. As we see Spellwrong and Aces both sticking out one more lap on those intermediates. This very much so seems like dry weather now, so them probably waiting one lap too long. Let's see. Is anybody? No, that's just Jacko Lacko locking up into turn one. And that's LB still on intermediate tires. Definitely him missing out. As we see Spelled Wrong DNFing, losing the car, and that's bringing out the safety car. Where has he lost it? He's lost it on the exit of Ascari, right into that Tech Pro barrier, or whatever that is. And that's going to bring out the safety car. So all the time for the leaders has been nullified. Let's see, and that's going to be very good news for Aces and the Haas. Or are they gonna? They're definitely gonna make some positions up. How much though? Are they gonna jump ahead of Rills? Or are they gonna be up into P3? Yeah, Aces is. Aces up into P2 even because Lifeboat is serving his penalty. Lifeboat losing a lot of positions now. That's 6 positions lost. Maybe even more. Womack gets on with it. Ooh, Lifeboat! That's gonna lose him even more positions, crossing the white line on the exit, trying to get power down early. A little too eager. As both of them get a... Ooh, that's a good strategy, I guess. Both of the cars having to wait for Lifeboat to rejoin the track because he crossed the white line. And you're not allowed to overtake under yellow flags. I don't know how I would resolve that. But anyway. As LB is still on intermediates, what is this guy doing? Maybe it is going to rain in 2 minutes again. But, I mean, I don't have the info. But since nobody's on intermediates, I'm guessing he just was sleeping all day? I don't know. Let's see, so medium tires for the most part. We see hard runners here and there. So that's Sim Guy's on hards, and Miguel is on hards. As Miguel pits, that's going to be a free position for a Lifeboat. Is Miguel going on onto the medium tires? So these mediums looking, yeah, very attractive. If you're willing to lose 4 positions, maybe even more, 5 positions for them. But LB still on intermediates. Not only that, but the intermediates that were there since lap 1. Maybe he's saving his tires, so he's gonna pit on the last lap, the lap where the safety car is gonna go in, and then he has the best tire wear of anybody on the grid. Although I'm not sure if that's worth losing. Probably 4 positions. He would have lost some if he would have boxed, but let's see. So Lifeboat now up into, or down into P7, depends on how you look at it. All medium tires though. So that's Sim Guy, the only guy in the top 7 on hards. Let's see if he can hold these guys off for long enough. I mean, the medium tires are going to wear out faster than the hards, but probably not fast enough to justify the hard running. But let's see. Safety car's not in this lap, it's going to be in this next lap. Is that going to mean that LB is going to box now and have the freshest tires of anyone in the field? No, why would you? It's not like it's dry weather. Okay. Well, he's staying out on those really old intermediate tires. Safety car can be in this lap for sure. It's been 3 laps and everybody's caught up now, or by the end will be caught up. So let's see the positions. So that's Sim Guy still in first, start at first. Ace is making up 2, Rills down 1, Calvin up 3, Reshka down 2. Both Ferraris down their positions, Lifeboat up 9, but that was always going to be the case. Womack's down 2, Playing up 3, and then Mozilla. Did somebody just go off track? No. Okay. And Mozilla up 1. Let's see. One stop for the most part. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Let's look at the penalties. Where was it? 10 seconds for LB. Oh, he got the big one. And Fragile Tunnel as well with a 10-second penalty. I don't know where you get those, but I guess it's not that hard. As we see LB just letting everybody by. That's something. Okay. Well, let's go back to position change. Sure. And let's look at that sim guy. When he goes, everybody goes, as we see everybody warming up their tires. It's going to be go time now. Aces getting caught out a little bit. Rills as well. Nobody really able to catch up immediately except Lifeboat. He's going to get squeezed by rubbing it. But Lifeboat now having the inside for turn one. Everybody gotta watch out that they don't brake too late, but don't brake too early so they don't lose too much time, as he's gonna get squeezed and he's gonna not get that position. Let's see who's gonna get the better exit off of chicane 1. It is the Ferrari, so very interesting. Let's see. So whoever's gonna be out on top, Lifeboat or that sim guy, picked the better strategy because they were on par before the safety car. Third tenths separating everybody. Okay. Everybody close to one another, but nobody really looking to eye up a move at the moment. Let's see. I mean, everybody still has full set of battery left to their disposal, so that's just going to be very annoying for Lifeboat, who's going to be not able to make up positions as fast as he would like. Not only that, but this is going to be a forming DRS train, as BRD Calvin is trying to make up a position on rails for a podium position. These guys only 40% left in battery already. We see Aces push that sim guy down to 40 and 60%. Let's see. Is anybody close enough in the top 7? Not quite. And behind them it doesn't look any better. So it's an even bigger gap for the rest of the field. Let's stay on Lifeboat, who has set the fastest middle sector now, getting a better exit than Robinette. Using a lot of ERS now. Robinette not using any ERS to defend. He's ahead of him, and that's Robinette backing out of that fight for now. Lifeboat now pushing the other Ferrari. He has more than double the battery that Ferrari has, but he doesn't know that. He's not blinking yet. He's about to be. Let's see in the front. Ace is not able to make a move, and he has that penalty. Rails with a lot of ERS though, so definitely keeping up with the guys in front. Lifeboat made up 1 position in 3 laps. That's going to be not enough if he wants to fight for that victory against his teammate. As we see a very Max Verstappen-esque helmet, eh? And a yellow flag from another Alfa Romeo, I believe. No, it's the Mercedes of Jack Olaco spinning and cutting some grass, trying to make his best Bottas impersonation. That's gonna cost a lot of time and some positions for Jack Olaco. But who knows, a safety car could come out at the end. Lifeboat very close to Rishka. Seems like he's going to be side by side into turn one. It's going to be a matter of who can break the latest, although he does have the inside. That's the better line. Is he going to make one move? He's not going to make one. That's for the better traction off of the first chicane, and it is going to be Lifeboat making up a move. Look to be making up 2 moves almost, braking so late that he would catch up to BRD, and then almost looked like he would make a move at all. But it is going to be a 1 position gain for a Lifeboat. So we see them heading into Lesmo. I believe that's this Lesmo 1 and then 2. I think that's how you count them. As we see, DRS available for everybody. And Aces is up into P1. I missed that as well, but that's some guy very close to Aces. These guys don't really want to fight because Lifeboat is not too far behind. That's some guy having a little look down into Parabolica, or whatever it's called now. His ERS is activated though, and he's going to have DRS for turn 1, and that's going to be him up into P1, back into P1 again. That's going to be a full car's length ahead, as Lifeboat is overtaking the Haas of BRD, and that's Lifeboat up into P4. He's a little squirmy off of that exit, losing a little bit of time. Up 12 positions now. So 2 more positions for Lifeboat, and he's going to be back where he started for the safety car. Let's see, playing in Wumux quite close to one another. As we see Miguel trying to scare Bergen into a mistake. For the top guys here. 3/10 and the 7/10. So everybody having DRS till P7 still, so if you make a mistake it's going to cost you very much. See, 5/10 for that sim, that's not going to be enough. Or is it going to be enough for Aces to challenge him into turn 1? That is going to be enough. He is going to go defensive, and Aces is just going to sit back as Rills breaks late, blocking out there. Lifeboat catching up, not within 5/10. Oh, as we see somebody spinning, that's Plang in the Aston Martin. Losing some time. Well, spinning. That's what it'll do for you. As we see, Rills and Aces go side by side into Lesmo 1, Lesmo 2 now. Rills behind, so he will get DRS from Aces. What? Oh my god, as we see Lifeboat losing the car and hitting something. A DNF from Lifeboat. Wow, and that brings out the safety car. Very unlucky for the Dutchman. Just losing the car out of Lesmo 2, I guess? Yeah, as we don't see the body anymore, so... seems like he maybe just... lost it on... traction. As we see that sim guy diving to the pits. No, what is he doing? Is he gonna aim for softs? No, that's medium tires. That's an interesting strategy for 4 laps. That's gonna be yikers. So interesting. I mean, it was definitely going to be a lose-lose for that sim guy if he hadn't boxed or pitted. Everybody would have probably pitted behind him for soft tires as he loses the guy on that car on exit. But down 9 positions, that's not very good for that sim guy. He's not going to have a lot of laps to make up those positions, and he's not going to be on a much better tire. I mean, he didn't go on the softs, he's just going to be on fresh mediums, and those medium tires for Aces and Rills and BRD aren't that old yet. So a strategy blunder after a unfortunate DNF for the Red Bull team. Let's see how many positions he can gain, but 8 positions in 3 laps, that seems a little optimistic, but who knows. As we do see the safety car come out now for Jack Alacco, so that's going to be a big plus for him. And Sharpie is going to dive into the pits, so that's a free position now for that sim guy. That's one last car he has to worry about. But still, 7 cars, 3 laps. I mean, that is a challenge. Maybe even only 2 laps. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, that's probably going to be 3 laps. So let's go back to the race leader, I guess, now. How big is his penalty? 3 seconds. So Aces in P1, Rails in P2, BRD, Kelvin in P3, Rishka P4. Anybody of these 4 could be fighting for the win. Very similar pace for all of them. And Womack's, with those hard tires, he's gonna have a challenge keeping the guys behind him. Bergen in P6, and Plang, even though he spun, he's still P7. So hats off to him. And after that, it's going to be that sim guy, Robinette. So that sim guy, he's not even able to look too much ahead, but he's going to have to look behind as well, because... Okay, so it's 4 laps of racing for the guys. But he's going to be looking into his rear view mirror, because Robinette is going to be on softs pushing that sim guy. Same as Miguel going to be for Manila, and then he's going to be pushing that sim guy. Let's see. When Aces goes, he goes. He hasn't gone yet. And he has caught the Aston Martin napping a little bit. 4/10. So nobody able to gain positions from the start. But Bergen has been napping. That's going to be a 2-position gain for the Red Bull. Not quite. As he is going to hit. And oh my god, that Plang is not going to leave him any space. That's going to be 2 positions, 3 positions down for that sim guy, as he's just pushed off track. And that's going to be another position lost to FCR Tronc. So the strategy definitely not paying off for the Red Bull team, but he's going to make that position back very fast. Nice overtake. Let's see, these 2 guys playing a little bit cleaner now, with the Williams losing that position. So Plang down. Plang seems to having big trouble understeering in a lot of corners. And that's going to be very frustrating for that sim guy, because he has lost time and, well, time. Don't think he's got damage. As P. Manila gets a penalty. Let's see. Aces is going to be trying to communicate with Rills to not fight, because he has a penalty, and Rills is also going to probably just want to stay ahead of BRD. Let's see if these guys can work with each other instead of against each other. Let's look at internal. So 5/10 for that sim guy. So far, this is looking very good for Rails to have a victory here. BRD just not quite being able to keep up with the two guys in front, having to use a lot of ERS to stay within DRS, which is going to be enabled this lap, I believe. Or, well, it's going to be enabled next lap, but by the end of this lap. And he's out of DRS range, as we see yellow flags for LB Racing. Now Reshka onto the back of BRD, trying to make a podium position out of this race as Womax loses the position to rubbing it on those soft tires. As that sim guy puts in the fastest lap of the race. That's a very slight accommodation though. Potential top 5 finish and fastest lap is definitely not as good as a victory would have been, but well, stuff happens. So Rail's able to keep up with Aces. And Reshka pushing BRD. Let's see if any of these guys are going to try and look to make an overtake. As we see a Sharpie DNF from the race. That's very unfortunate for him. Just losing the exit. As Bergen also DNFs. Yeah, just losing the exit on track. Is he going to be ghosted? That's very brave from LB not to avoid that. Let's see where Bergen DNFs. Lost it on exit out of Lesmo 2. Probably. Yep. Similar to Lifeboat, I believe. As we see that sim guy make an overtake on Womax. And P Millionlot trying as well. There we go. Womax trying to have a look. Last fight. Trying to scare that sim guy. He's gonna have a look down though down the inside of Revenant Halmagine. So we see the Ferrari getting past the Haas driver up into P3 now. Let's look at that gap. 4/10 between these two. 4/10 between these two, and 5/10 between the two leaders. And that's sim guy up into P5. But he does have a penalty. I'm guessing that's for track limits. That's not going to help him at all. Yep, track limit penalties. Ouch. So, let's see. Israel's going to try and get this. Oh, this is the last lap. Well, this is going to be Rails winning Monza. Aces vs Kings coming into P2. On track, winning it. As we see that sim guy losing 2 positions. Both positions that he gained due to his penalties as well. And as we see LB now finishing last with that 10-second penalty. Very close fight between the top 4 guys all throughout the night. Rail's definitely having slightly better pace than Aces, and Aces just having that penalty, making life easy for Rails, not just being able to sit back and stay within DRS. So, what a race. I mean, probably the two fastest guys on track. One DNFing, and the other one who was leading the race from start to now, having a strategy blunder. That's unfortunate for the Red Bull Garage. Yeah, let's see what how that's going to affect the championship standings. So let's see, Rills plus 12. I believe that's going to be Rills into P1. Yeah, if my math is correct, that should be Rills and up into P1. So yeah, what a interesting start to the season. Yeah. So, oops. So that the fastest lap, not even going to that sim guy, is going to be beaten out by half a tenth. 2 Rills, so he gets fastest lap and the win. Only thing that was missing was pole position today, but I think he can ignore that one. It's not going to be too big of a burden for him. 3 DNFs today, so nice race, and especially in tricky conditions, starting on starting wet weather, having no big shunts into turn 1. Yeah, very clean race today. So let's see what's next week, and let's see if I'm going to be commentating next week. If so, I might be not caught off guard. Next week is going to be Melbourne, Oive. Well, let's see. Let's see who's going to do that one. But nice racing, guys, and good result. Yeah.